Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I'm Francois Chianetta from Augment, and our goal is to bring 3D models in the real world, starting with sales. So 2 years, yeah, that's where I'm presenting, okay. 2 years ago, I wanted to do posters out of my photographies. And I was following augmented reality. It was the time of LiDAR, Wikitude, and all those. And I thought it was a really good use case for augmented reality to just be able to put a poster on a wall and to see how it will fit. And so I started to look if there was an app to do that, and there was nothing. And that's where I started to develop Augment. So as a simple way to bring a 3D model, to bring something in the real world and to be able to see how it looks like in the environment, but really in an easy and compelling way. So I developed the app, I put that on the market, on Android first, and there was a lot, thousands of downloads, and people were liking it because it was the first easy way to do augmented reality. And then we started to study a little bit the market and who were those people and what they wanted to do with that. And what we noticed is that in the world, there are a lot of markets, a lot of verticals where they have 3D models. Architects, designers, 3D printers, they all have 3D models, and when they want to show the 3D model they are doing, they always do a rendering or a video or at best a 3D print, but they are not using the full power of a 3D model because it became a 2D plane, and you can't really say about the volume, you can't really say the real size, because if you put two 3D models on the screen, you won't see any difference and for the size, for the volume. And if it's someone that is not used to see a 3D model or a 3D viewer, they won't have any idea of what they are looking at. So that's where Augment is coming in play. On the market that we discovered, one of them is packaging and pop-up POP display, so the thing that you are seeing on the store. They are really mature on the 3D side of thing, and they really want to see objects in the real world. So what are they doing now? They are taking a photo of the shop, they are integrating the object in 3D, then they are sending that to the marketing person or the salesperson. They ask, okay, how do you think it is? Is it good? Is it not good? They get the feedback, and then they start again. And it can take weeks and weeks to get the product right and the placement right. And now, using Augment, the person creating the 3D model will simply send the model to our server, and we'll show you that later. And then there is a salesperson going to the store, taking a tablet, because they now all have tablets, and they can see right away the display integrated in their environment, which is the essence of augmented reality. I mean, you can't be more augmented reality than that. It's putting a 3D model in the real world and respecting the perspective and doing that in real time. But just by the simple thing that you can do it with an iPad, that you can do it with a 3D model that you already have, it opens a lot of possibilities. So let's say you want to compare two different models that you are doing because you need to make a choice. With augmented reality, you can do that. You can just put them one next to the other, and you can compare them in real size, and being able to say, okay, I want this one, or I want the other one, but with the same size than the first one. And that's something you can't really do if you just have two rendering of two different models or two models in the 3D viewer. That's the first thing, and that's, as you can see, it's without marker. So we estimate the position of the ground, and then we put the object at real size as best as we can. But something that we noticed is a lot of those people, they are also doing packaging. And when you deal with packaging, what you want to do is really to be able to manipulate the tool. And that's where the old school marker, the thing that everyone is trying to remove, is becoming really handy, because by having a physical incarnation of your virtual model, you start to feel it, you can move it, you can really feel the volume. And there you see it on the screen, but if you look at the model through the iPad, it's really like if the iPad was a window. So it's not a screen anymore that you're looking at, it's a window. And when you do little movement, it feels like it's in 3D, even if it's not a 3D screen. But with the parallax and with all the effects, you get the impression that you have the model inside your hand. And since the application knows the card, it's in real size. So you can take your object and then you put you put something, and you can place it in the environment, and there you can compare it with something that already exists. So it gives you the opportunity to visualize something that doesn't exist yet and to compare it to another product that was there previously. And that's what you are doing. So really giving to people the opportunity to visualize any type of stuff. And since we have an open platform, people start to put their own model, and we can see what use case they are doing. And we have a lot of architects. So architects are already working with 2D models. They still need to simplify the model that they are used to do, because they are doing really complicated model because they are used to rendering. And so we need to explain, okay, you can't put in an iPad the model that you are using for doing a rendering that take 4 hours on 3 computers, because that's not working this way. So you need to simplify it. But then when the model is simplified, you can really have it like a reduced scale model. And you can look around, you can look at how it looks like. And something really cool that you can do with augmented reality and that you can't with a reduced scale model is that you can grow it until you're in the middle of the model. And then you can just look around. And there you are on the model, inside the model. So that's the power of augmented reality. And as you see, I'm not touching it like a lot of buttons or a lot of options. It's just natural. It's a natural manipulation of the model. It's a seamless switch between the marker mode, the non-marker mode. And that's where we try to be the strongest, is that we want a salesperson, we want an architect, we want a teacher to be able to use augmented reality without even having to think about it, like they would do a PowerPoint. So that's really simple, powerful, cost-effective. It's a SaaS business, so you don't need to pay 50,000 euros or dollars to get your app and then try to fiddle around with it. You can start right away with the freemium model, and then you pay as you add more salespeople to it. And it's instantaneous. The markets that can use it are really various. For example, medical devices. It's really expensive. It's really big objects, and you don't want to bring them with you. So you have a packaging, pop display, furniture, architects, and we discover new use cases every day because people are coming to us and they say, okay, I want to do that or that. And for example, this is a teacher using Augment to visualize molecule in his chemistry classes. Because in the US, there is a really funny thing that is happening right now, is that classrooms are getting iPads. And so people are sending us an email saying, oh, I have a class and we just got 30 iPads. But I don't really know what to do with it. So yeah, we are here to help. So the workflow is simple. You go to our interface, so to our upload interface, that I can show you really quickly. So that's the upload interface. You have a big button, add a model, so it's quite clear what you need to do. And then you see all the models you have added. You can share them. You can embed them on a website. You can edit them. You can also associate a marker to a model. So let's say you want to give away a brochure, and you want this brochure to be augmented. Here you just select a file, and when the person will scan the image, it will show the model. So that's really a straightforward way to do marker recognition. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. So the workflow, you put your model in Augment, then you can use it on your iPad, that we call the Augment Business Catalog. By logging in the iPad, you get all the models that you have created on the website synchronized automatically and available offline, like some sort of Spotify for augmented reality. And where it's really interesting is that you create a catalog of 3D models for a customer, then you send an account to this customer, they log in Augment, and then they have all the products you've done for them. So they are able to compare the several revisions. They can look at the product you created 1 year ago and say, okay, I want the same than this one, but with this color. So that's a way to communicate efficiently. You can augment the print, and then you can embed on the website with a simple button. We price that $30 per month per device, or $300 a year, so it's not expensive, and we want more and more people to use it. You can register today and start upload your own 3D models. We are an open platform, and we try to embed the best we can in the workflow, so you can put Collada, OBJ, STL. If you do 3D printing, you can pre-visualize in augmented reality in real size your object. And you can download our app for free, so it's one of the best rated app and augmented reality app on the market. Just type augmented reality on Google Play or on iTunes and you will find us in the first place. And as a special offer for Augmented World Expo, we put all our features for free for 1 month. So you can test Augmented Business Catalog, you can embed print, you can do everything you want, and then you can give us your feedback, and you will be very welcome. So augmented reality is, it's funny, okay. Just the last thing. So augmented reality can be useful, but don't forget that at the end, it's always also really fun to do it. And yeah, I think Japanese can learn that. So that's a Japanese TV show, and they display Augment. And which was really funny is that the choice of model that they selected, amongst the 6,000 models that we have on the platform, they took the pig. And yeah. Don't forget, augmented reality is fun, but make it useful also. Thank you. It's even funnier with the sound, you should.
Yeah, so while the next presenter sets up, do we have any questions? Don't be shy.
How do you, I'm an architect, so how do you manage actual scale? Like, you showed the display thing
Yeah.
around, so it actually has a real size, so how do you?
You just, when you upload the model, you create it with the real units.
Okay.
So
And your system actually?
yeah, we pick that up and then we put it in real size. But for an architect model, we will just reduce it to the...
Right, because that's just a real.
Yeah, because you need to be able to see it. But if you go to the building site, you can put it in real size and visualize it.
You use the very special design marker-like card.
Yep.
It's always required to display the AR object.
No, it's not required. We use it because the app knows it, so it's really fast. It's the best augmented reality tracker that we can do. I mean, it's working really well, even on a small card. But you can just take any image and you create a marker out of it. So it's really easy. If you don't have anything on you, you take a brochure, you take a magazine, you do create tracker, and it will become a tracker. But there we don't guarantee the real size because the image can be any size. But if you use our interface and you upload an image to be the tracker, you can also set the size of the image so that it becomes real size at the end.
And then, so I have a question now while these guys are finishing getting set up. What formats do you support as far as your import formats for the experience?
So we support Collada, OBJ, 3ds, Blender, STL. And we have plugins. So for example, we have a plugin for 3D Studio Max, which will do the baking of the light, the baking of the texture, the materials, so that the model that you get at the end in Augment is really exactly like it looks when you do a rendering. And still it's working because it's not, we don't do all the rendering in real time. That you can't redo that. Since we are available on more than 1,000 devices, on Android, on iPhone, on 2 years old Android, we need to stay really fast, so we can't do all the shyness and the materials and everything directly in the app, and that's why we have the sort of baking directly in the 3D viewer. And yeah, if you want to take cards to have markers with you, they will be there.
Awesome. Thank you.